Hello, this is Aaron Entertainment with another wrestling retro review of the past episodes of whatever wrestling company I decided to do. So far, I did the first Raw and the first SmackDown for WWE. Now, for this time, I'm going to do WCW's first ever Nitro back on September 4th of 1995. And in this Nitro review, will be called The Return of the Total Package, Lex Luger. As you can see in my picture before I started to talk to you. This is the debut episode, The Return of the Total Package, Lex Luger, back to WCW after a social stint in WWE as the American hero, right? As they built him up to be. Now he's back, and what an impact he made already coming back to the first episode of Nitro. So, with that, let's start with what happened on the debut Nitro episode. Before we get to the first match, I'm just going to announce who the commentary team for the first edition of Nitro was. It's led by Eric Bischoff, the one who came up with the idea for Nitro, which was held in the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Joining him is Mongo Steve McMichael. Yeah, the one that was that Twitter account with the Mongo Michael Steve Mongo Michael Kiffs. Selling and stuff when he wrestles, and he former Super Bowl champion of Chicago Bears, the '85 Bears, has a Super Bowl ring, and they're joined by Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's the commentary team for the first edition of Nitro. Now the first match features a legend in Jushin Thunder Liger, who just retired from wrestling this year. Early January. Yeah, he's retired. Taking on the late, great Brian Pillman. These two have wrestled in the past. These are senior matches in the past. They do very well together in the ring. They have great chemistry. This is like a cruiserweight kind of match. Even though the cruiserweight division didn't really start a little bit later, but these two were basically cruiserweights, right? In the WCW. Luger Thunder Liger did a hurricanrana. He put Ryan Pillman in a trio roll. You can see those pictures. Ryan Pillman did tornado DDT off the turnbuckle. There was a spot where Jushin Thunder Liger jumped off the turnbuckle, and Brian Pillman dropkicked him while Liger was in midair. And so Liger was going for a move, but Pillman rolled him up, reversed to roll him up for the 1-2-3, giving Brian Pillman the win. After the match, Pillman and Liger shook hands. Good sign of sportsmanship. It was a tremendous opening match for the first edition of Nitro. And with that, it led to after that there was a promo by Sting who's going to take out Ric Flair. And there was a backstage interview that was taped before with Eric Bischoff in the mall with Hogan, and a bunch of crowded kids in front of a restaurant. Just promoting it past the Mania, stuff like that. And then talking about his match with Big Bossman. What Hogan was doing is pretty much promoting the restaurant behind him, but past That's pretty much it for this part. Next, I'll be talking about Ric Flair and Sting. Next match featured two legends in the wrestling business, the Icon Sting and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Interesting fact, they both wrestled in the first Nitro and the last Nitro, back in 95 and 2001. They might be the only two to wrestle on both Nitros. Interesting, right? So it always makes sense to have them wrestle in the first Nitro. Both of them made their entrance down the ring, but surprise, surprise, uh, Lex Luger made his return to WCW by walking down the entrance, looking at Sting and Flair. And you know he's friends with Sting. They were both looking at him. Security was telling him to go back. About 30 seconds later, Luger's back in the wherever, and it's not where the ring or anywhere. He's backstage, and then Flair and Sting started wrestling. Now, for some reason, I think I counted 4 press and throws, 3 in the ring by Sting to Flair, and 1 outside the ring. The one outside the ring, he picked up. Flair ran, as Sting was ready for him, caught him like this, and threw him into the ring. Right? I think it's 4 times. This match is good. Flair was being dirty as usual. I think as usual he was dirty, playing a dirty game. R. Anderson came down by ringside. Now, R. Anderson and Flair have not been getting along at this point. They've been fighting with each other, but he didn't do anything until later on in the match. Flair had Sting for a suplex off the turnbuckle, so a superplex. Well, a superplex. Sting was down. Sting, at one point in the match, Sting had Flair down, but Sting turns attention to Arn Anderson, and Flair, as he is a dirty player in the game, Job took out Sting's kneecap, where Sting went down to the ground, and that's when Flair put on the figure 4. Sting was pumping himself up to see if he could reverse it. Unfortunately, he couldn't. The referee's attention was with Sting. Flair grabbed out of the rope using his hands to get more leverage. Anderson got into the ring, and the referee called the match off. And then Anderson and Flair started arguing, and they started to fight. And the fight got outside the ring. Security had to break him up. Flair goes backstage. Anderson had looked at Sting, but he was walking around the ring, grabbed his shirt. Well, and in the middle of that, Scott Norton walked around the ring too. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. So, as I said, Scott Norton came to Eric Bischoff saying he has a contract with WCW, he wants to challenge somebody. He's making issues with the Bischoff. Blah blah blah. Scott Norton was big into New Japan at the time. Now said the crowd was cheering. All of a sudden, Savage came out to confront Scott Norton. Asked him if he was looking for a match. Scott Norton's like, "Yeah, I want a match." And Savage like, "How about we do this right now?" Savage gets in the ring. Obviously, Scott Norton wants to wrestle Savage, but Eric Bischoff, we can't wrestle now. We can't wrestle now. This ain't happening. So, of course, he didn't wrestle. But later in the broadcast, it was announced that Randysavage, Muscle Man, will be taking on Scott Norton in next week's edition of Nitro. So, yeah. And then after this, the commercial breaks a vignette for Sabu. Yeah, there's not a lot of fun memories of Sabu in WCW. Barely any memories of Sabu in WCW. They're hyping him up. Yeah, nobody remembers Sabu in WCW. Let's be honest. They might remember, but was there anything monumental with him? No, nothing. barely anything Sabu has done worthwhile in WCW. And then there's another vignette with Michael Walsh, who's formerly of IRS of WWE. He was now in WCW. Kind of the same gimmick, but not the IRS like. He was more of a business like with money, obviously with money. Just making noise for himself and what he's going to do in WCW. Okay. Next is the main event. This will feature Hulk Hogan taking on Big Bubba Rogers, formerly the Big Boss Man. So we got Hulk Hogan taking on Big Bubba Rogers, formerly known as Big Boss Man from WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it back then. The Smash is okay. Yeah, Hogan is not a great worker, but he knows what makes psychology. He knows what makes the match good. Jimmy Hart's his manager. Jimmy Hart gets involved, distracts the referee. Hogan uses a flag or whatever to cover Big Bubba Rogers' face on the turnbuckle. Hogan climbs the turnbuckle, gives him the 10 punches to the head. Hogan does a couple elbow drops. Bubba Rogers has some moves. Hogan runs into the Big Boss Man slam. Big Bubba Rogers goes for the pin. Hogan kicks out, and Hogan starts to hulk up. Once he hulks up, you're done for. Hogan hulks up. Rogers tries to punch him. Hogan points at him like that, and then he takes Big Bubba Rogers, whips him against the ropes, go for his pan, big not leg drop, his big boot. Then his pan finishing move, the leg drop. Yeah, I know it's a leg drop. It's not much. Yeah, it's a leg drop. But to him, the finishing move is just, to me, I call it a super leg drop. He connects it, gets a 1, 2, 3. He celebrates for a little while. And then all of a sudden, the Dungeon of Doom, who's in the midst of a feud with, come out, storming him to attack. Rich featured the Zodiac, Bruce Barber Beefcake, Kamala, Shark, Ming, and Kevin Sullivan. 4 of those members were part of WWE, WWF. Luger comes up to help. Hogan and Luger manage to get rid of Dungeon Doom. They're backs to each other. They turn around, about to punch each other, and yeah, and this is what happens. You see Luger and Hogan confronting each other. Then you see Macho Man Randy Savage, excuse me, and Sting coming out to hold back Luger and Hogan. Savage is holding back Hogan. Sting is holding back Luger. You go to commercial. Commercial break comes back. Mean Gene Okerlund's in the ring to get an interview and see what's going on with this mess. Hogan's like, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is mine territory, whatever." And paraphrasing. Luger then starts talking about how he's tired. He's beating all the same people Hogan's has, which is not true. He's tired of playing with the little boys. He's here to play with the big boys and wants a title shot, whether it's next week, a month, or 5 years. Hogan's like, "Well, you know, brother, you don't have to wait 5 years, a month. I'll give you a title shot next week, brother, next week's Nitro in Miami." And Luger accepts. So next week's Nitro, title match between Lex Luger and Hulk Hogan. And while this is happening, fall ball is right around the corner. And you know what happens with Luger later on in the year. So there you have it. That's my Nitro review. I hope you like. Comment below if you like this video, if you like this Nitro. Subscribe and take care. Have a good day.